an update on what is happening in the policy development area in their regions to come and sit right up front. We have Marco, Sean, and Pablo. So we do not have anyone from Lacnic, but I will attempt to share with you what is happening at Lacnic. I tried to get some of this information from their website, and if anybody from Lacnic is listening in and they think I might have misinterpreted what they are discussing, yes, Jody might help, because interestingly, most of the proposals at Lacnic are actually from Jody. So, so Jody, please, I will feel free to chip in. So, Abiade, can you please put up the presentation? Thank you. Oh, yeah, there we are. So I had prepared also information for AFRINIC, but I will skip over that because we have somebody from AFRINIC right here to share with us authoritatively. So I will skip that. All right, Pablo? Okay. So from Lacnic, just a few policy proposals. The first one is the inter-RIR transfers policy. That is one of the proposals at Lacnic. It's quite similar to the proposal that we are going to discuss later today, because it's from the same author. In short, the proposal puts in place a mechanism to allow transfers of IPv4, IPv6, and S numbers between different regions and Lacnic. And that also aligns Lacnic with an existing transfer market, which Lacnic is currently not part of. Just similar to what we have in today's proposal, only legacy IPv4 space is proposed to be transferred outside of the Lacnic region. So the rest of the IPv4 address space that is under registration services agreement is not meant to be transferred according to that proposal.
I will stay here. Legacy AS and IPv4. So it's exactly the same as here.
Yes, I think I missed that. Legacy V4 space and AS numbers can be transferred outside of Lacnic to the other regions, just like we have in the proposal that Jody will share with us later today. And it is currently under discussion in the Lacnic region. Next, acceptable use policy for the policy list. That is how the proposal is titled, acceptable use policy for the policy list. So the author proposes an AUP, which is an acceptable use policy for the Lacnic policy list, because it does not currently exist. And the author proposed this as a result of several incidences of, I will just quote exactly what I picked from there, annoying activities that are contrary to the list's purpose and spirit, including cases of misuse, various personal attacks, and electoral propaganda, seen many times on the Lacnic policy list. Ooh, the Lacnic policy list has been quite busy, I can see. So that is one of the proposals under discussion. I believe it is a bit similar to the code of conduct we have here in our region.
Yeah, it has more or less the same spirit. The idea is that we never needed this in Lacnic, but in the last board elections, there was a very disruptive propaganda about the board candidates, and the staff decided to moderate the list. I was against that because I don't think the PDP list should be moderated, and I proposed instead to submit a policy proposal, and I did that.
Okay, Jody, thanks for that clarification. I don't feel so bad after all. I thought we were the only people that had such issues here. So, next, minor revision of the PDP, also authored by Jody. So, that revision corrects the flaw, whereby if a policy proposal does not reach consensus, and the comments it receives are not enough to show the author a way forward, as written, then the current text would force the authors to artificially submit a new version in order to keep the original proposal under discussion. Yeah, it seems like a rule of law, actually. Yeah. Next, clarification of IPv6 sub-assignments, which I believe is also a bit similar to the proposal we have. Introduces a process that disallows provisioning of V6 space to third-party devices outside the network infrastructure of the holder of the PI space. And these include, but are not limited to, temporary connections to third parties, permanent or semi-permanent connectivity such as broadband services. So as long as V6 space from a PI assignment is issued to networks outside of the network of the holder of the V6 of that assignment, then that is supposed to not supposed to be allowed. Right.
Actually, if I can say, the policy proposal that I have here is much better than this one, because I still didn't have time to update that one. So it's much better than what we have here right now.
Okay, thank you, Jody. Last